What's up guys? We are back at it again with this SR. I think the last video kind of left off where I was talking about the bearing situation and possibly looking at those, and well, I did, and it was exactly what I kind of hoped it wasn't, but in that sense it wasn't the worst, so you know, I mean, we'll give it that. But here you can see I have everything torn apart down. Crankshaft is actually out of the block. Here is the mains that were in there, and you know, they all look pretty good, right? I mean, it's kind of hard to see, a little low light. I flip the angle here, and they're all pretty good. They're all, you know, take my word for it. Thrust washers looked like they were all right, minimal wear. Obviously I'm replacing those too, so whatever. But the rod bearings, this is where we start getting a little interesting. This was cylinder number 1's rod bearings right here, and let me make sure that you guys can see this. Yeah, so that's actually pitting. It looks like it's just like missing a little bit of the maybe tin or copper, you know, got down to the copper material of the bearing, but that's like pitted hardcore. And yeah, it doesn't really translate on camera as well, but so, you know, I found the first couple ones that weren't that bad. Then I found, like, I think it was cylinder number 3, and it was like, you know, worn equally but not as bad. So I did end up getting my turbo apart as well. I got the housing here separated, and it's just the housing, and I'm basically gonna have to take care of that and the sheared one on this side over here. It's looking pretty rough, so hopefully I can get that figured out pretty good. BJ told me just to bring it on by, and he's got a drill press and stuff, so if we need to drill something out or whatever and be a little bit more precise with it at the machine shop, we can do it there. I'm kind of excited about that. I bought some more stuff just because I knew I was going to need it. The rod bearings was one of the things. Once I took it apart and saw that the bearings were not bad, I just, you know, it's cheap enough just to buy bearings. It was $80 pretty much, and got main rod bearings. So how could you say no to that? The head is still at the machine shop at this point. I'm still waiting to get that back. I did a little comparison of like the chains side by side from the one that was in there and the new chain, and it looked like they were about the same. I couldn't really tell if there was stretch or at all. I think it was just fine, you know. I mean, I don't think there was anything wrong with it, basically. I still never found anything else that looked fishy. I'm guessing that the head gasket was just the culprit here ultimately, and the head gasket just failing like it did, you know, where it failed and whatnot, just kind of made it so that something weird was happening there, and the car would still run and had compression, but yet I was losing water and oil and probably oil pressure, so it's probably why I was hearing a little bit of a chatter, probably chain slapping or something like that. That's pretty much what I'm thinking. It wasn't a very rough noise, and when it happened I immediately just parked the car and took the engine apart because that's what I do. And yeah, here we are. I still definitely have to clean up a bunch of things. I've kind of been working on my truck in between, my Silverado, and you know, I guess Christmas time, you know what I mean, maybe I'll have a lot more free time, you know, where I won't be going anywhere or doing anything. I'll just be kind of at the house, so I'll be filming a lot more. I kind of have sparing times when I can actually work on this thing. So I mean, when I can work on it, I just kind of do work, so it's hard to film everything. I'm just gonna put some plastic gauge on them, make sure they're within spec, and run it, you know, send her on. So with that being said, the crank looked pretty good. Didn't have any really issues with the crank or anything crazy going on there. I mean, there's some wear on this cylinder where the rod bearing was the worst, but I think it'll clean up nicely and be fine, be within plastic gauge specs and all that. Alright, so I think we're just gonna throw some bearings in this engine now and put her back together and see what happens. Maybe I'll stop the camera for the plastic gauge part, just so maybe people can see that, or I don't know, maybe just to put someone's mind at ease if they potentially buy my car later on, you know what I mean, and they find these videos or whatever, you know what I mean. They might just be like, oh shit, here's the guy and here's my fucked up engine. I hope not. That's why I'm making this shit, and that's why I'm fixing it. So here you go, man. And bam, there we are, back together. All new bearings in there. I'm still gonna plastic gauge them. I'm probably gonna start the next video that I make out with actually plastic gauging these, because I got some other stuff that I'm gonna throw in the end of this video. But yeah, there she is. Yo, what's good? So, today, got my boy coming over here. And yeah. Got an S13 coupe. This person doesn't run into you. So, we just got this thing back running not too long ago. It's gonna give it the first oil change. First oil change is going down. Ah, what's up?
What up, man? Yeah, you're trying to do more car things.
So, what are we doing? Changing the oil?
Change the oil, gotta put on the O2 sensor, and probably wouldn't hurt to do a thermostat. I gotta get one of those.
Sweet. So yeah, it's going down.
Be nice if we could put that idler control valve in this intake, but
Yeah, let's just do it, even if we run it over like somewhere crazy. You know what I mean? Just to test it and see what it's like.
well, the reason why I haven't done it is
Oh yeah, that's right, because we had to drill the hole.
I gotta drill a hole.
I forgot about that.
The barb is like this big, like that big. It's pretty big.
I don't even know if I have a drill and
It's like
tap for
it's
that.
like a big old boy.
Oh boy. This thing's pretty clean. It's got like a semi-wire tuck-ish thing going on here. It's basically getting set up for turbo, or was, but we shall see. So the first thing that we decided to do is take this O2 sensor out, and it came out pretty easily. So yeah, always fun when that happens. Yeah, it looks pretty. It looks like an O2 sensor. They got a long like tailpiece on this thing. What's the new one look like? Oh, same shit, just new.
So we gotta extend the wire.
It's only one wire?
Because the factory location is up on the top of the exhaust manifold, so we have to make this wire wherever it's tucked at. This little brown fucking lead shoved around somewhere. Hit it.
I saw it that one day. Remember, I pulled it out and was like, "What is this?
Yeah.
Why is this not plugged in?"
It's back here somewhere, I think.
Hopefully
Here
it
it
didn't
is.
get chewed off or something.
Right here. Right here.
So yeah, the socket that I gave you is the actual O2 sensor socket, so you should be
Yeah.
able to run that wire through that.
You see it hooks on right there, bang.
Oh.
Hooks back onto this.
All right, well I can extend that wire. That's not a
So
big
that's
issue.
got to get extended.
All right, that's no big deal. Why is it so short though, anyway?
Because the factory location for the exhaust manifold for the O2 sensor is right here. On the stock exhaust manifold, it comes
okay.
out and you have an EGR pipe that wraps around the backside.
Right.
Right there, see it? There's
Yep,
the
I
hole
see
welded
it.
up.
I do see that.
It mounts right there. So it's got two. You can run the upper and the lower, because this is an aftermarket one. And we ended up, I think, welding the top hole shut. So run on the bottom. I'll get on the bottom.
Interesting.
Ouch, get down here, man. That pressure on my face.
That clip on that thing will fit right on this piece, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so it'd be best if we just cut the wire in the middle somewhere, easily where I can splice it. What was that? Oh, okay. Scared me. Just threw a newspaper on the lawn right there.
Yeah. shooting around.
I thought somebody ran something over, to be honest. Oh,
Sorry.
right, yeah, like that one night. Were you out here when that happened? When that guy ran over something in the middle of the road? The sewer grate or something? Pop this damn tire. Alright, where does this wire come from? Can I trace it up through somewhere? I think for here would be better. Anyway, just need to get it up through here. There we go. So I got more wire to play with. It's like insulated a lot, but whatever. It ain't gonna be when I splice it. Alright, well, let me get some tools ready to do that. So we decided to start draining the oil and stuff. Adam's jacking the car up, and it's draining now, and he thinks that there might be some fuel that's somehow getting into his oil, because it did smell like oil, and he said it felt like water when it hit his hand in the initial taking the plug out. But we shall see. I guess he's gonna get an oil change, and hopefully it'll do something. Gonna have to keep an eye on it. But also, while I was looking at extending that wire, which is obviously easy, it's just one wire for the O2 sensor, I was thinking in my head, like, man, I mean, if I'm gonna bust a soldering iron out and everything, maybe I should just relocate some wires. And then I started looking around at what he's got going on with this whole like snake nest looking thing, snake wire bird nest looking maw trucker. But so I was thinking maybe I could mount this box somewhere here to where he could still access the controls, and it just kind of looks clean and tucked away, squared up with the fender, kind of like that. And relocate his ignition coil, which is loose, by the way, so it's kind of weird. We're gonna relocate that and put it down here. So I'm also gonna get rid of this bracket. That's what I was about to do, is get rid of his charcoal canister bracket, because he doesn't have that anymore, and it's just in the way and for no reason. So yeah. So yeah, definitely cleaned up this whole thing. Got rid of some unnecessary shit that he ain't using. Of course, we gotta do something about this still, but we'll figure that out. But yeah, he's about to drop the car back down. The oil's all done, filter's all changed. And we gotta fix the O2 sensor wire, and that's it. What you mean, son? Alright. Go ahead. Oh, shit. That bitch went quick.